The first sign something was wrong came at 9:47 p.m., when Emma heard the upstairs toilet flush. She froze on the Hendersons' leather couch, remote control halfway to the coffee table. The sound echoed through the house like a gunshot, followed by the unmistakable groan of old pipes settling back into silence. Eight-year-old Tyler had been asleep for over an hour. She'd checked on him twice, once at 9:15 when she thought she heard footsteps, and again at 9:30 when the house had creaked in that way old houses do. Both times, he'd been curled up in his race car bed, breathing the deep, steady rhythm of childhood sleep. Emma's phone buzzed. "How's everything going?" "Mrs. Henderson, all good. Tyler's been asleep since 8:30, she typed back, her thumbs trembling slightly. The house settled into silence again, but it felt different now. Charged. Like the air before a thunderstorm. She turned the TV volume down and listened. Nothing but the hum of the refrigerator and the distant whisper of wind through the oak trees outside. Maybe Tyler had gotten up for a drink of water. Kids did that all the time. Perfectly normal. But as she climbed the stairs to check on him, each step seeming to echo louder than it should, Emma couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching her. Tyler's door was still cracked open exactly as she'd left it. She peered inside and her heart stopped. The bed was empty. "Tyler?" she whispered, pushing the door open wider. The superhero nightlight cast strange shadows across the rumpled sheets. "Tyler, honey, are you in here?" She checked under the bed, behind the curtains, in the closet. Nothing. Maybe he'd gone to his parents' room. Emma hurried down the hall, her bare feet silent on the hardwood floor. The master bedroom door stood ajar, and she could see the king-sized bed in the moonlight streaming through the windows. Empty. "Tyler!" she called out, louder now, her voice cracking. "This isn't funny. Where are you?" That's when she heard it. A child's giggle, muffled and distant, coming from somewhere below. Emma raced downstairs, her heart hammering against her ribs. She searched the living room, the kitchen, even the laundry room. Every light switch she flipped revealed empty space, familiar furniture, nothing out of place. But the feeling of being watched had grown stronger, like invisible eyes tracking her every movement. She was standing in the middle of the kitchen, phone in hand ready to call the Hendersons, when she heard Tyler's voice. "Emma?" It was coming from the basement. Relief flooded through her. Of course, the basement. The Hendersons had mentioned it was Tyler's favorite place to play. There was a whole playroom down there with video games and toys. He must have snuck down while she was watching TV. "Tyler, you scared me," she called down the stairs. The basement light was off, but she could see a faint glow emanating from the bottom of the staircase. "Come on up, honey. It's way past your bedtime." "I'm playing a game," came his voice, sing-song and cheerful. "Come see." Emma flicked on the stairway light and descended, her hand gripping the railing. The basement was finished, with wood paneling and carpet, but it still felt colder than the rest of the house. The playroom was around the corner, and that's where the glow was coming from. "Tyler, I'm serious. Your parents said you need to stay upstairs after bedtime." She rounded the corner and stopped dead. Tyler was there, sitting cross-legged on the carpet in front of his gaming console. But he wasn't alone. Another child sat beside him, a girl with long dark hair wearing a white nightgown. They were both staring at the TV screen, controllers in hand, completely absorbed in some colorful video game. Emma's mouth went dry. "Tyler, who's your friend?" Both children turned to look at her, and Emma's blood turned to ice water. The girl's face was pale as moonlight, her eyes completely black. Not just the irises, but the entire eye, like looking into two deep wells. When she smiled, her teeth looked too sharp, too many. "This is Lily," Tyler said matter-of-factly, as if nothing was wrong. "She lives here too. She's been waiting for someone to play with." "I've been so lonely." the girl said, and her voice sounded like wind through dead leaves. Tyler's the first person who could see me in such a long time. Emma backed toward the stairs, her whole body trembling. Tyler, we need to go upstairs, right now. But we're in the middle of a game, Tyler protested. Lily's teaching me how to play her favorite. It's really fun. You collect all the lost souls and… Now, Tyler. The authority in her voice finally broke through. Tyler reluctantly set down his controller and stood up. But the girl named Lily remained seated, her black eyes fixed on Emma. You can see me too, Lily said, tilting her head like a curious bird. I wondered when you kept looking around upstairs. Most grown-ups can't. Most grown-ups just leave. What do you mean, most grown-ups just leave? Emma managed to ask, though every instinct screamed at her to grab Tyler and run. Lily's smile widened. The other babysitters. They'd get scared and run away, but they always came back eventually. Everyone comes back to the basement. Emma's phone buzzed. A text from Mrs. Henderson. Thanks again for staying late. We've had such terrible luck with babysitters lately. They keep quitting after one night. Tyler, Emma said carefully, never taking her eyes off Lily. Has Lily been here every time you've had a babysitter? Tyler nodded enthusiastically. She likes to play games with them. Hide and seek is her favorite. What happens when the babysitters play hide and seek? They hide really well, Tyler said. Like, forever. Lily always wins. The temperature in the basement seemed to drop 10 degrees. Emma could see her breath now, small puffs of white in the suddenly frigid air. I have a new game, Lily said, standing up slowly. As she rose, Emma noticed she wasn't quite touching the ground. It's called Never Leave. Want to play? Emma grabbed Tyler's hand. We're going upstairs. Now. But when she turned toward the staircase, it wasn't there anymore. The wall was smooth, unbroken wood paneling. The basement stretched on into darkness in every direction, far larger than any house should contain. The house likes to play too, Lily giggled. It's been so hungry. Emma's phone buzzed again. This time it was a call from Mrs. Henderson. With shaking fingers, she answered. Emma? Thank goodness you picked up. We've been trying to call for hours. Are you all right? We've been driving around looking for our house, but this is going to sound crazy. We can't find it. The GPS keeps saying we're already there, but there's just an empty lot where our house should be. Emma looked around the impossible basement, at Tyler, who seemed completely unperturbed, at Lily, whose black eyes reflected no light at all. Mrs. Henderson, Emma whispered, what happened to your last babysitter? Static crackled over the phone. When Mrs. Henderson's voice came back, it sounded very far away. We don't remember. We never remember. We just keep hiring new ones. The line went dead. Lily clapped her hands together in delight. Oh, good. Now we can all play together forever. The house is so much happier when it's full. Emma clutched Tyler's hand tighter and looked around the endless basement. In the distance, she could see shapes moving in the shadows, other figures, other players in Lily's games who had never found their way home. Don't worry, Tyler said, squeezing her hand. Lily says once you're part of the game, you don't get scared anymore. You just get to play forever and ever. Behind them, Emma heard the sound of footsteps on stairs that no longer existed, and she realized with growing horror that someone else was coming down to join them. The newest babysitter, perhaps. Or maybe just the house, growing hungry again. Lily's laughter echoed through the impossible space, and Emma understood that she had discovered something far worse than not being alone. She had discovered that some games never end, and in the distance, barely audible over the sound of her own thundering heartbeat, Emma could swear she heard a phone ringing, another parent calling another babysitter, asking if everything was all right. The game was just beginning.